Nestled in the eastern part of Jamaica, Portland is a parish of breathtaking beauty, where lush green landscapes meet the majestic blue mountains and the sparkling Caribbean Sea. This idyllic setting recently played host to the International Fisherman's Day celebration at the Alligator Head Foundation, an event that celebrates Jamaica's fishing industry. The annual International Fisherman's Day is spearheaded by the National Fisheries Authority in collaboration with key partners Food for the Poor, the Jamaica Fishermen's Cooperative Union, and the Caribbean Coastal Area Management Foundation. It shines the spotlight on their crucial role in global food security and the sustainable resource management. This year's theme, Empowering Our Fishers, Ensuring Our Future, highlights the importance of supporting these essential members of our productive sector.
National Fisheries Authority, we want to extend our appreciation for each and every one of you for your countless contribution to our nation, to feeding of the nation. Your contribution is greatly, greatly appreciated. And without you, I don't know, but Jamaica would not be the place it is. Hellshire wouldn't be the Hellshire it is. You understand me? Enough people would have been hungry, because there are a lot of folks who don't eat the regular food like chicken and beef and pork and all these things. You understand? You understand how important fishermen are to our society? Eh? Because a lot of people, they don't often give the respect to a fisherman that they deserve. Don't they? Right? Because they'll take their child and send their child to go to nursing, to go to a doctor, lawyer, police, name some other professions, teacher. But when you get, but when you become a lawyer, and you get hungry and you can't eat chicken, beef and pork, where you have to come and buy? You have to come back to the fisherman, not true? And if you're a teacher, you have to come back to the? Alright. And if you go to church and you keep fish fry, you have to come to the? Not true? Yeah, man. So we're here to celebrate you. We have a wonderful program lined up for you.
The celebration featured an engaging opening ceremony with remarks from distinguished guests, including Dr. Gavin Bellamy, CEO of the NFA, who underscored the NFA's significant involvement in the fishing industry.
First of all, good morning, Minister Witter. Good morning, Mr. Mr. MC, Mr. Goldberg. Good morning, all of the persons sitting at the table. Good morning to the Honorable Minister Floyd Green, who is on his way. Jack saying good morning. Good morning, Minister Green. Thank you for coming. He will be here in a few moments. First of all, the theme for today is empowering our fishers, ensuring our future. Right? So, you all know how much the National Fisheries Authority and the country as a whole respects our fishers and fish farmers. We respect you to the max. Without you, we can't get what we like and what we love. Some of us love lobster, some of us love cock, some of us love our brown stew fish, steamed fish, everything else. But remember, it says ensuring our future. To ensure our future, we need to do what we're doing in the fisheries sector sustainably. So it's sustainable fishing and fish farming we need to do, that we'll have fish available for the future. So, coincidentally, we are here at the Alligator Head Foundation. There's a fish sanctuary right out there. that is a part of our sustainability program. And this is where all the fishers around the island, we are asking you, and we know you do it, respect the fish sanctuaries, don't fish in them, don't allow any stranger to go and fish in them. And that is where you're going to get more fish from. The other thing, I see some of my friends who have been around the island a bit through the long line and the fat fishing training. That's another part of our job, training our fishers to go further so you don't pressure the reef. So sustainability again. Over by the NFA school where the capture fisheries team is, you will see the Irish moss, sea moss. We're teaching fishers how to farm sea moss. Another way of sustainability, another way to make money. There's also oysters over there, which we farm. So these are some of the sustainable things that we have been trying to pass over to you, our dear beloved friends, our fishers. On the aquaculture side, the new hatchery should be out this year to produce enough fry that all the farmers should be able to get enough. We have also done our prawn, which is shrimp hatchery, so the people who farm tilapia can farm shrimp at the same time. But anyway, my job was only to give remarks. I start to preach. So welcome all. I'm glad you're here. Please do the wellness checks that Ministry of Health is doing for you. Please sit and listen to the presentation by Coast Guard, ODPM, and Ministry of Health. But the main one I'm going to beg you all to pay attention to is the one from Sagicor. Please, ladies, gentlemen, get yourself insured. Get yourself protected. The other day I went to St. Thomas for a very unfortunate incident. And the thing about it, the persons knew about the insurance, but they didn't take it up. And we are all very sad. So what I'm saying is, insurance is a savings policy, something to protect you, something to ensure that your family and yourself can live a long and happy life. And if anything untoward happens, there is some provisions there. So ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the day. This is for fun. And I hope I drop a 1-6 love today. Thank you.
Attendees also heard greetings from Dr. Dexter Colloon and remarks from Honorable Franklin Witter, MP, JP.
The Honorable Franklin Witter, or MP, JP, State Minister in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. Come on, put your hands together for our State Minister, the Honorable Franklin Witter. Blessings, good to see you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I was looking forward to the domino game, so when you miss out and leave me out, I said, well, it's time for dominoes, and I want to drop some 6 love. But nonetheless, I'm very happy to be here in Portland, members of the platform of Fisher Fruits, ladies and gentlemen, members of the team from Fisheries Authority, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. As I said, I'm very happy to be here in Portland. It's one of my favorite parishes. I have 5 parishes in Jamaica that I always say I would live out. I'm from St. Elizabeth. And there are 4 other parishes that I always say I would live outside of St. Elizabeth. And Portland is one of them. I love Portland very much. I spent a lot of time here during an event earlier, a couple of years ago, and I really enjoy the people I enjoy everything about Portland, and must say that I'm very happy to be sharing with you here this morning as we celebrate International Fisherman's Day. I think it's really a great privilege to be here in Portland. And I just want us to just put our hands together for our fisher folks, because you're the reason why we are here today. When I travel across Jamaica, I don't just see our boats floating. When I come to the fishing villages, I see where persons are involved in economic activities. It's not just fishing, because this is a way of life for you. And I always say that I have great respect for the fisher folks in Jamaica, because I will never spend a minute out there, I can tell you. I cannot manage it. And therefore, I will pay any price for a pound of fish that I love so much. And that is why I love my fisher folks. Because you bring something to me that if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be able to enjoy it, because I'm not going to. The chairman mentioned earlier about his experience, trying to do some fishing. I tried it one time. My friend had a boat dock somewhere, and I went on it and I see the fish there. And I decided to take it up and throw it out. I didn't know what I was doing. Put some bait on it and throw it out. And I was there for about an hour. Can't catch nothing. Which said, "Boy, this isn't really for me." But anyway, I make another try. When I look at feed something heavy on the line, I start to pull, and I pull. I want a piece of rotten boat come up. It was in the Kingston Harbor, the issue you have in the Kingston Harbor with debris and so on. A piece of rotten boat. I said, no, let me go back to my old time. I will pay the price for the fish that you produce. So today I'm here really to celebrate you and to say that the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mines, we continue to give support to our farmers. When Hurricane Beryl threatened us, we did everything possible to give support to our fishers. $100 million in support to repair infrastructure. We also provided mesh wires. We provided vouchers worth between $25,000 to $50,000 to fisher folks. We dredged canals in Port and Cottage and saved engines from ruin. 11,000 pounds of ice was provided to keep the fish fresh. As you know, we had the problem of power outages and so on. So we continue to give support to you, because we know how important it is to support the fishing industry. Today, I celebrate with you as we celebrate International Fisherman's Day. And I want to say to you that the ministry will continue to give the support. And when Minister Green comes later on, he will provide you with more information as to our continued efforts to make sure that fishing in Jamaica and the fishery sector continue to remain a viable and important part of our economic development. I want to thank you again. I look forward to the rest of the morning and into the afternoon. Thank you. God bless you.
The Fisherman's Corner segment provided a unique platform for fishers to share valuable best practices, fostering a sense of community and shared knowledge.
Good morning, everybody. Specially invited guests. All protocols observed. On behalf of the Alligator Head Foundation, I extend a warm welcome to each of you, our partners, our community members, our fisher folk, and our special guests to Fisherman's Day 2025. So we're proud to host today's event here at Alligator Head at the Fish Sanctuary, which is really a living testimony of what community-driven conservation can achieve. So today is much more than just a date on the calendar for us. It's a celebration of a way of life that is deeply rooted in culture, our communities, and our coastline, of course. So at Alligator Head, our mission is simple but urgent. We're aiming for fish-filled seas, healthy reefs, and thriving communities. And that future really depends on not just conservation or science, it depends on you, the fishers. This sanctuary, which is actually 6 square kilometers of protected area space, is more than just a boundary to us. It's a shared commitment, a space where science can meet tradition and community to rebuild what we've lost and protect what we actually still have here. So in recent years, we at Alligator Head have outplanted more than 9,000 corals, released more than 10,000 hawksbill turtles, planted over 2,500 mangrove seedlings, and we have trained and partnered with not just students and scientists, but fishers to help restore the marine ecosystems. And that's from the reef crest straight back to the mangrove route. And these efforts all take place right here in a lab and a space that was built for the community, a space where local knowledge can meet science, and it's science grounded in purpose and deeply rooted in people. So we just want to thank the NFA for the opportunity to host today's event. Today is a day of recognition, learning, and celebration, of course. And we also want to acknowledge our other partners. I don't want to start calling names, but partners across government, across civil society, and of course the many fishing communities that continue to inspire and guide our work. So Fisherman's Day reminds us that behind every catch is a story of tradition, of stewardship, and of survival. It reminds us that when we work together, communities, researchers, policymakers, and of course fishers, we all thrive. So today, as we share ideas on our heritage and maybe enjoy a few friendly domino games, Sir CEO, let's keep our eyes on the horizon though, on the prize, not just for where the fish are, but for the future that we're trying to build together. So I'll leave you with this. When the ocean thrives, so do we. So let's protect it, respect it, and pass it on better than we found it. And just to borrow from NFA's tagline today, or theme today, let's empower the fishers to protect our future. Thank you.
Inviting Mr. George Chisholm Williams, the president for Bryans Bay Fishermen's Group. Let's make him welcome.
In life.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairperson of the Ministry of Agriculture, National Fisheries Authority, and other groups of folks that are here. We just want to say good morning. I am George Williams. I never gone that early to get the garden, else I'll be on the money. And I don't think I'll be here this morning because you'll see me on the money. But I'm just here to speak on 2 things. Safety at sea. Safety at sea is very important for all fishers. And I think our fishers are growing more sensitive to protect themselves from the dangers. And I think we have much to thank the Fisheries Division, the Co-op Union, also from our government, who have spent time to gather us together to show us that we need to save ourselves from the endangerment. There we face rough sea, we face pirate at sea, all type of the thing. So that the fishers who is going to sea without a life jacket, that's a no-no. So when you get encounter with the marine soldiers and the police and you are charged, it is that you are at your own fault. That's your own fault because you neglect. Now, for those of you who are going to the Farmigos, the Pedro banks, and all of these things, those distance you need a GPS. And we know the GPS as a global position system. It's become so common to both fishers and people who are trying to move to their location. So friends and well-wishers, my fishers, I am a fisherman, so I have to talk to the fishers. Please get yourself equipped with all of these things that if anything happens, you can be safe at sea. Next thing, we have learned that some of us who neglect this, we suffer. Don't drain your country resource, especially in finance, when you neglect to do the right thing. I remember some years ago, there were some fishers who had drifted away to one of those Central American countries. And the only fisherman that come home is the man who have his license and his ID. The others, it takes them years to come back on the shore. So do the right thing and get yourself equipped with your safety for sea. Thank you very much.
There was also a poem from Garfield Goulburn from the Jamaica Fisherman's Cooperative Union, a multi-awardee for creative writing.
Morning, fishers. Protocol observed, and pleasant morning to Minister Green, of course, Honorable Frank Witter, CEO Dr. Bellamy, and of course Dr. Dexter, and the fisher leader from Brian's Bay. Good morning, and fishers, it's good to see you. I see many of my friends in the audience. Good to see you. We are going to have a great day today. Poem, IUU fishing. Who are the fishers that were at Morant Bay 2 weeks ago? Let me see the hands of those persons. All right, I see some of you. Very good. Over there. All right, all right. All right, over here. Very good, very good. IUU fishing. We are here to learn. And we are here to take away knowledge so we can be impacted. IUU fishing by yours truly, Garfield Goulburn. Are you involved in IUU fishing? Illegal, unreported, and unregulated fish harvesting? Is this something you are doing? Fishers, are you guilty of such activity? Are you registered as a fisher and is your license up to date? No? Why are you not straight? When $1,200 or $1,700 can bring you up to date, and no longer do you have to go in because you can stay anywhere and use the app. Irie? Alright. You don't believe that is true? Ask NFA's Mr. Barku. And if you still don't believe we, then speak with Dr. Bellamy. No, you are out at sea without any license and registration on thee. You're going to ask the Marine Police and Coast Guard for mercy. And when they take you to court, what will be your plea? Do you know what is the penalty? Whether prison sentence or the monetary fee? Isn't it best you do what you should so you and the law can be good? Now what about your boats? Have you licensed them? If you haven't, you know that's a problem. Likewise, it is encouraged that you get the boats insured. So if there are climatic conditions or man-made ones, your losses will be less and not more. And are you licensed to fish in one area but caught fishing in another? And does your license say this type of fishing, but it's another kind you are doing? With your fisheries officer, we encourage you to continuously speak. Have the conversations on what constitutes a license breach. But what about some gray areas which seem unfair? And how they play out is as if no one cares. You pay for your license and you get a receipt, but the license is not ready for many weeks. But fishing is your livelihood. What should you do? Sit and wait on the license? Then what will happen to you? And if you do go to sea, that's another thing. When police and Coast Guard comes calling. Now who among you are using noxious substances to help catch fish? And if you have the urge to use explosives, you better resist. Fisher, don't be a fool. At least 1.5-inch wire is the what? Is the rule. Stop being a rascal. Spear fishing at night is what? Illegal. And no fishing in the sanctuaries. Please, give the near sea fish stock some reprieve. Buried lobsters and baby fish in your catch. What to do? Throw them? Alright. Fishers, be smart. It is illegal to possess a turtle or any of its parts. Are you observing the lobster and conch closed seasons? Meaning fishing these kinds at those times you have no legal reason? Are you one of those avoiding the landing bays and fishing the same spot for many weeks and days, under-reporting on your catch, not properly advising on your harvesting spots? All that must what? Must stop. Are you breaching the EEZ to fish in another country's waters and for profit partnering with foreign poachers? Now you have heard my speech. The various positions on IUU fishing that some have breached. If you are guilty, will you change? If not, be prepared to face the consequences of remaining the same. And if you see something, say something. Learn to embrace the culture of informing. By doing so, you are protecting your livelihood from others who mean you and the industry. All right, listen, let us stand against IUU. I will. Will you? I said let us stand against IUU. I will. Will you? All right, thank you very much.
The keynote address and a lively question and answer session were facilitated by Honorable Floyd Green, MP.
The moment we've been waiting for. We're going to be hearing from our Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. He is our keynote speaker for today. Let's put our hands together and make him welcome, the Honorable Floyd Green, MP. Come on, clap the minister better than that, man.
Success don't come overnight. No matter no substance over hype. Do it for the love, we not do it for the life.
Yeah, that song that sound good. Our officials do it for the love, they don't do it for the like. Not true. Dr. Gavin Bellamy and members of our National Fisheries Authority, could we give the NFA a big round of applause? Of course, my state minister, who is always here, always holding the fort. Give Minister Witt a big, big round of applause. Our master of ceremony, Mr. Ryan Dixon. Boy, your voice sound like you've been on radio. Not true? Oh, must, yeah, man. So, oh, you have a radio voice. Okay, well done, well done. Dr. Dexter Dean from the Alligator Head Foundation. Can we give Alligator Head our host? Can we congratulate them? Mr. Williams, which is the president of the Bryan's Bay Fishers Group, members of staff of the Ministry of various agencies, members of the media, and the most important people here, our fisher folks. Good morning, everybody. All right, who is here now? Fisher people from Portland, are you here? Anybody from St. Thomas? Good. Anybody from St. Anne? All right, good. Anybody from St. Mary? Oh, St. Mary is out. Trelawney? Dr. B, we have to get our Trelawney people. Where's Trelawney? Anybody from St. James? Oh, life sweet. Anybody from Westmoreland? Yeah, nice. Anybody from, which parish am I parish? Anybody from St. Elizabeth? Good. I see the St. Elizabeth crew is out. Anybody from Manchester? Yeah, man, Manchester. Well, sometimes we claim it as St. Elizabeth. Sometimes they claim it as Manchester. Alligator Pond, right? So, we have Alligator Pond. Anybody from Clarendon? Yeah, man, Clarendon has to be here. St. Catherine? Yes, we normally have some people from St. Catherine that are here. Yes, Old Harbour Bay. And you have over by Port Henderson. You have some people from St. Catherine. Anybody from Kingston? Yes. Some people look up surprised. Kingston, remember Kingston borders the sea. And we have a lot of good fishing beaches in Kingston. I'm really happy to be here in Portland as we celebrate our hard-working, resilient fisher folks and our fishing communities under the theme Empowering Our Fishers, Our Future. The truth is, we know Some of the bravest people you can find in Jamaica are fisherman and woman. Not true? If you've never been to sea, then you wouldn't understand. But I'm telling you, I brought, a few years ago, we said we wanted to do a Fisherman's Day video. So I got my communications person and she carried a guy with a camera and we said we are going to sea. And I had some wonderful people, one of them is here, who took us out. Two of them are here, who took us out to see. Get up at the people, see you, man. Yeah, man, give them a big round of applause. Come and put my life in their hands. And may I tell you, you have a part, you know, especially if you're a small boat fisher. When you are out there, there is no doubt that is the sea in charge. Not care how you're bad, and the sea in charge. And may I tell you, we are going to everything all right. To be honest, I love the sea. I realize I love it. But going out never bad. This is when I come back, the two of them fall up like they couldn't wait to reach back to land. So I tell you, we must commend our fishers every single day. It is not an easy job, but it is a critical job. And it's a job that contributes to our food security and to ensure that we have food on our table. You know, despite the challenges, and we have had a lot of challenges over the last few years. We've seen a lot of weather challenges. We've had some weather events that we haven't seen before. We've had some wind events that have made it very difficult for our fishers to go out. But nonetheless, our fishers and our fisheries sector continues to do very well. And this is despite Hurricane Barry last year. In fact, last year, our fisheries sector contributed $32.6 billion to our GDP. That deserves a big round of applause. Our marine fishers, those of our fishers who go to sea, contributed 32 billion of that 36, with the rest being contributed by our aquaculture, our fish farmers. And I want to big up our fish farmers. We must congratulate them as well. We're seeing the growth, and we're happy that they're here with us. The truth is we are seeing growth over the last few years. And one of the things that we have done as a government is to try to elevate how our fishers are treated. A lot of you knew for years we only had what we used to call the fisheries division, which was a small part of the ministry. For a long time had about 100 staff members. We have decided as a government that our fishers deserve an agency to call their own. Since the 1990s, people know about RADA. And when you're a farmer, you look to turn to somebody, then tell you turn to RADA. But our fishers used to say sometimes, minister, we don't know who we turn to. And we say we're going to elevate fisheries, move it from a division, make it into an authority, and give it more people to serve our fishers. So we have moved from about 100 people to now our National Fisheries Authority employs over 240 people to serve you, our fishers. Some fishing beaches used to only have one NFA representative. Now you have all three. You have man of the compliance, you have fisheries officer. We are putting more boots on the ground to satisfy your needs. Additionally, when I went around, when I just became minister in 2021, and I had a listening tour, and we had separate listening tour for the farmers, separate one for the fishers, because I said we are not going to treat our fishers as stepchildren. They have their own issues and their own views. And a lot of them came and they used to have a big complaint. They used to say, minister, and you would have heard it in the poem, and can we give our poet a big round of applause? Very well done, very effective. The fishers used to say, boy, we apply for the license and months pass and we don't get it back from the Fisheries Authority. Years, here a man session say years. And they used to say, but minister, we can't stay because fishing is our livelihood. And then they would go to sea, they would get caught, and then it would be peer problems. And I said, we have to fix that.
And the reality is that we have introduced a digital system that you all should know the name of by now. What is the name? What is the name? Fins, where you can stay at your house, you can stay on your fishing beach, you can be wherever you are, and you can be at sea once you have the connection and apply for your license, apply for renewal of your license and pay. And you know, since we have introduced that platform, we have seen a significant increase, especially in registration and in renewals. We have to clap. I think we should clap for that. Remember, we used to have a 100% manual system. And last year alone, over 53% of the renewals were done using the Fins platform. That is a big success. Additionally, we are working now to do two things. We are working now to ensure that wherever we don't have an NFA office, we will put an office there. The National Fisheries Authority has to have an office in every single parish. So we are moving to establish an office in St. Anne and Trelawney, where we do not now have offices. And we're not stopping there. Yeah, we can clap for that. But we're not stopping there. Not only do we have to have an office in every parish, we want to ensure now that we have some regional offices that almost act as mini headquarters for the Fisheries Authority. And we're going to do 3 regional offices. We're going to do one in Montego Bay, we're going to do one in Pagy, in St. Mary, and we're going to do in Black River. We're going to transform those 3 offices by completely reshaping how they look, how they feel, and how much staff they have. So if you have a matter you need to elevate it, you don't have to come into the fisheries office in Kingston. You can go to one of your regional offices. And I say now that we are moving with the times, and now that we have our Fins platform, and as I say, you can stay at your house and sign up. We are going to embark on a project this year that we're going to be working with the Universal Service Fund to bring free Wi-Fi to our fishing beaches, so that ultimately you can stay at your fishing beach and do everything you need to do on the platform. You know, we are serious about trying to ensure that we can serve you, our fishers, better. And for years we have been saying that our nearshore fish population has been depleted. We all know that. I don't have to convince you that when I went out, my guys tell me that we used to could go 5 minutes out, drop and come back in, and you're done. You don't feed the day, you're all done for the week. Now, you all got 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And when you pull up your pot, you're not seeing anything. So, we have spoken about it for a long time. But what we have been doing over the last 2 years is trying to work with you as fishers to really do something about it. And we're taking a threefold approach. One, we know you need to go further out. So we have been working with you to teach you as artisanal fishers how to do the long line fishing. And we have trained about 290 fishers across about 9 fishing beaches. And we have trained you in long line fishing, but we've also worked to deploy what we call fish aggregating devices, where you put something out there and it attracts the pelagic species, the bigger fish, deep sea snapper, mahi-mahi, so that ultimately you can get better catches. And we've deployed 9 of them across our 9 of the fishing beaches that we've done the training. And I must tell you, some of our fishers are doing really well with the long line fishing. I have St. Mary. I get some pictures from St. Mary. I was going to come there, if you didn't allow me. I was going to say, almost every week, you have a man named Dr. Dunn in Southeast, who I guess, me don't know, it look like him in the fisheries group. But him send me, Dr. Bellamy, almost every week, some pictures of amazing catches from our fishers from Southeast St. Mary. Give them a big round of applause up. See somebody there and say, a true minister, I tell. What we need to see more of is more of our artisanal fishers taking on the long line fishing. Because ultimately, we have to, there's nothing at the near shore. And we want to build back the near shore. And I'll come back to that. So we are seeing that going good. We're going to continue the training. What we have done, we have trained some of our own fisheries officers so that they can go out and give the training. So if you are not yet trained, if you are from a fishing beach and you are interested, talk to Dr. Bellamy. So we can give you the training, and with the training, we provide you with some tools so you can go out. Additionally, we're doing two other things. We're teaching you to do some different things. Our fishers in St. Anne have embarked on some sea moss cultivation. Everybody know our Irish moss? And you know we have the best Irish moss in the world, not true? What are you good for? Everybody start smile. They say one man said so. He doesn't nod. Well, it is used for all kinds of things. A lot of health benefits, and now it has made its way into skin care. And if you know, skin care is big money business. And what we are doing, we are literally farming sea moss. It's not like the days are old where you just go reap it wild. We can teach you how to farm it, and our fishers in St. Anne are doing it. We're now doing a drying house for them so that they can use that as another source of income. Over in St. James and in Westmoreland, we're working with the fishers there with oyster cultivation. Again, we love our oysters. Our hotel sector is asking for our oysters. We don't have enough. We can cultivate it. And I can tell you, I went to Mount Pelion and I had the oysters there. And like everything in Jamaica, tastes good. So we want you, our fishers, to look at alternative things than fishing in the near shore, because we have to build back that near shore population. And the way we're doing that is by embarking on some new sanctuaries. We had 18 sanctuaries, and last year we gazetted 2 new sanctuaries. We gazetted a sanctuary in St. James and one in Hanover, because we have to expand the amount of area under protection. Because you know what we have seen? The sanctuaries work. Even down in my neck of the woods in Galleon, where we have a sanctuary, I don't know, we grew up, Frank Lovett, Minister Witter, we grew up on a fish called goatfish. And for a long time we never seen a goatfish. And goatfish start come back since we put in the sanctuary. We're seeing the biomass return to the areas. So we have said that over the next 3 years, we want to put another 9,000 hectares under our fish sanctuary program. We think it is very important because we ultimately want to reach to 20,000 hectares that is protected. When we do that, after some time, we can start seeing near shore fishing coming back. But when we start it back, we have to do it differently, because we can't make the mistakes that were made in the past. The other thing that we have been doing is, when I went to the ministry, I recognized that the farmers every year have an incentive program. Every year the farmers get a little thing to help them with seed, and I said, but our fishers need an incentive program. So we had started very small. I think the first year we started with about $30 million that we said we would help our fishers to buy a little wire, get a little fuel grant. This year, our fisheries incentive program in this new budget is $120 million for our fishers. And I want us to clap the government on making that possible. You know, out of our fisheries incentive program last year, we were able to give 23 youth and women grants of $120,000. In fact, we gave an additional 480 fishers. We provide them with fishing gear worth around $12 million. And we're just embarking now on our boat and equipment retooling program, where what we are doing, coming out of last year's budget, we have provided 20 boats and engine. And we're going to distribute it to young fishers under the age of 35 who have been fishing over a certain amount of years, who have done some courses with the NFA, because we want to create the next generation of fishers. We want to ensure that young people can get involved in fisheries and know that the government is here to support them. So we're going to start that distribution shortly. And I can tell you, we have another 20 boats on order for this year. We're going to do this project over the next 5 years. And if everything goes well, my hope is that by the next budget cycle, we can double. And instead of doing 20, we can do 40. So that we get more people who are retooled and who are out there. Additionally, we are doing a fishing beach rehabilitation program. And we already have 6 beaches under rehabilitation now. We're doing some work in St. Mary over in Paget. We're doing some work in Clarendon. We're doing some work in St. Elizabeth. In fact, it was last week I was in Black River, where we opened a new renovated fishing gear area for them. We renovated the area, did some new bathrooms, put in some solar lights. We're doing 6 now, and we're going to do another 3 this year. And every year we're going to do some fishing beaches until we feel comfortable that wherever you work as fishers, you have a certain level of comfort. See hard enough. When you come out, you should be able to relax a little, not you? So we are working. We're doing work now in Great Bay, as you know, Sean. We're doing work in Parati. Right now, we're looking at location in Billy's Bay to do some work. So we will be working right around the country. Additionally, there are 2 more things that I want to highlight. I don't want our aquaculture people to feel left out, because fish farming is also very important. And we've seen significant demand for tilapia over the last few years. And we're encouraging people. So you would have heard, we're on the final stretch now to complete our new tilapia hatchery. We're spending about 500 million Jamaican dollars on that. Ultimately, we now produce 1 million fry. We're going to be able to produce 5 million in a year. So remember, even if you are a marine fisher, it doesn't stop you from going into fish farming, because the demand is there. And if you prepare a pond up to 1 acre and fill it with water and approach us, we will provide you with your first stock free of cost. So you can get involved in that area. We're doing another thing. So maybe you don't want to do tilapia. We'll give you options. We have started our first ever prawn hatchery. Shrimp, prawn, whatever you want to call it. Dr. Bellamy have a nice fancy name for it. And we have produced our first batch of prawns. And what we're doing, I think they told me that we got 275,000. What we're looking for are people who are interested in doing prawn cultivation. So we are giving you that free of cost. If you have a pond, we will stock it for you with the prawn. Because again, we import too many of these things, and we want to ensure that we grow it ourselves. The other area that we're working on, we're going to do something that will be the first that it is done. Everybody know about an agro park, where you go either your lease land. We're going to do an aquaculture park, where we're going to be putting in 120 ponds. So suppose you don't have the space to do the pond yourself. We're going to be putting in the ponds, putting in the infrastructure, in fact, putting in a processing plant, and say to you, you can come and lease the ponds from the government and do your aquaculture cultivation. We're going to be doing that in Mitchelltown, Clarendon. In fact, we have already gone before the Public Investment Committee of the government. We've made our initial presentation. That was approved, and we're moving forward. We want to start the work on that in this financial year. Last thing, because I realized there was a misconception, and I want the officials to know loud and clear. When I just became minister, we went around, and one of the big things that the farmers complained about was not having access to health insurance, health and life insurance. And as such, I had sat with the two insurance companies. I sat with multiple insurance companies, but two insurance companies answered the call. Sagicor and Guardian answered the call. And I really appreciate it. And what they did, the challenge that the farmers had is that, well, most people have insurance, health insurance is very expensive. But what I saw happen in government is that if you work with government, you could get a group policy. And the group policies are always much more cheaper. So I said to the insurance companies, why do we not treat our farmers and fishers as a group? We have their registration, we can tell you who qualify, and have them access it on group rates. And both companies said yes. And as such, we rolled out the Sagicor AgriCare plan and the Guardian plan. And when we had the discussions was for farmers and fishers. But I realized that a lot of the fishers never recognized that they were included. So we have sat with the insurance companies again, and Sagicor has said that they're going to partner with the National Fisheries Authority to embark on a communication campaign so that the fishers know you qualify for group health insurance under the AgriCare plan. And the beauty with it is that you have an open registration period. What that means is that you don't have to walk with your medical record, because if Dr. Bellamy walk with your medical record, he can't get you. You know how insurance operates. So it is easier for you to sign up. So I'm saying to my fishers, take advantage of the opportunity. We have health and life insurance. Also, we have boat insurance and engine insurance through Advantage General that you can access right now. Additionally, we have weather insurance. You can insure your boat against wind under the GK Weather Protect. There are options for you now as fishers. So I want you to embark on it. Yes. So I thought it was important for us fishers, you recognize that we have come a very far way. We are putting in the work to ensure that our fisher folks are well regarded, that our fisher folks are treated with the respect that they deserve, and that the government is doing more to service you. I have always said, and I will continue to say it, that when all is said and done, they may want to debate who is the best Minister of Agriculture, but they will never be able to debate who is the best Minister of Fisheries, because we are putting in the work to ensure that our fishers get the respect that they deserve. God bless you. Enjoy International Fisherman's Day. I know you may have a few questions. God bless you, everybody.
The event also included informative presentations from the JDF Coast Guard, Sagicor, focusing on AgriCare insurance, Food for the Poor, and the Ministry of Health, all contributing to a comprehensive and enriching experience for attendees.
What really qualifies me to come here today and present to you on maritime safety is this bit of information here. It's just a synopsis of who I am. I am Lieutenant Junior Grade Balfour George Hines, currently the Acting Operations Officer at the 1st District JDF Coast Guard. That's the eastern end of the island. and I'm also the executive officer on board one of our offshore patrol vessels, that is Nanny of the Maroons. I'm sure you all are au fait with all our assets. I am responsible for all operational matter at the 1st District JDF Coast Guard. So men diving in the sanctuary and you guys need assistance, you can talk to me and we do joint patrols. But I haven't received any reports, so I figure that things have been going great. And I have here with me Miss Janice Williams, who is the training officer at the 1st District JDF Coast Guard and also navigator on board the same ship as myself. This here outlines my scope. I'm not sure if those on the right is seeing it properly, but I'll be briefly run through maritime safety, personal life-saving equipment. I notice fishermen sail at sea without these things, and far too many times we have to become and dive up bodies, and I want us to stop that. And go through passage plan, communication, boat arrangement, and so on. So maritime safety itself refers to the collection of measures to protect life and property at sea. Cool, so what you do to protect yourself and also men on board your vessel. Feel free to ask me questions during the presentation. As you can see, persons are having lunch, playing dominoes, so ensure that you inform your counterpart of what is presented today, because when I catch you guys out there at sea and you're in breach, that's it. Cool? So these are just a list of personal life-saving equipment. You know, the life buoy or a life ring. I mean, generally fishermen do not travel with these. You guys don't travel with anything at all, as a matter of fact. We have the life jackets. I noticed a number of life jackets were issued, so in the coming week or weekend, everyone should be fitted with a life jacket, because I see persons leaving with 5, 6. I'm assuming he is going to hand out some to some of his counterparts. So what we're looking at here is basically there are 5 types of life jackets. I am not expecting us to be in the work vest because it's uncomfortable for you guys. That's what I understand. But there's the inflatable one here. There's the inflatable one here that is type 5, as in type V in the bottom left corner there. That's good to do your fishing in. Type 1 is also fine, but you guys complain about type 1 and type 2. But it's what you guys can wear. But I'm recommending type 5. The issue with type 5 is that it's inflatable. It comes with a canister. So if you pull it, it's like a one-time use until you can get back a canister, and it's a bit expensive. So if you guys can purchase type 3, please. I try my best to give you guys a leeway when I see you at sea. Please, wear the life jackets. I implore you guys to wear the life jackets. And there are some other things that adds up to not wearing life jackets during your voyage at sea. I went ahead because I noticed you guys don't do any research. When you don't go see with no phone, I went ahead and I did my research at Bell Safety. And this is how much you sell one for. It's a bit expensive, but I'm tracking that Mr. What's his name? Goldburn? He has some for what, $5,000? So also that. And you know, we have a growing population now. Amazon is also a thing. You can get one for $40. Just ask your kids or a friend if you don't have any kids. All right. So when we look at the location of your safety aids on board the vessel, it's very important. Far too many times when I board vessels and search it, as you know, under the Fisheries Act, and this is why we're able to board, search, detain, and seize, because the Fisheries Act of 2018 empowers us, the JDF Coast Guard, as marine inspectors. And you know, there are many other acts. Some empowers us as game wardens and such. When I check you guys' vessels and you guys are without some of these things, I am not the most lenient, but I'm also lenient as an officer. Why are you laughing? So I understand that fishing is the livelihood and the money-making aspect of 90% of fishers' lives. So if I see you without certain things, and everywhere I go I say this, I'll allow you a couple of hours to finish your fishing and go back. But don't make me see you next time and you don't have these things. All right? A question was asked to me earlier by a gentleman. I'm not seeing him now. Might have been one of the person that collected his life jacket and left. But he queried about flare gun. Under the Customs Act, importation of flare gun is a no-no. However, you have other types of Mayday materials or Mayday equipment, such as the flares itself. You have rocket, handle, and you have the parachute flare. We do have some that we want to display, but based on what is happening today and multiple presentations, we don't have a lot of time. It's just a pictorial representation of what the parachute flare looks like. We'll have a better understanding of what it looks like and how to operate it whenever we break from this presentation. The handle flare. So we'll just showcase all of these items that will help you guys at sea if in need. I won't stress much on the EPIRB here because this is generally on big vessels. How this works is it's technically a beacon that whenever you're in emergency goes off, and District 7 in Miami will tell us, the Coast Guard, oh, there's a vessel in distress in this area and such. However, you guys don't have this on your vessel. What I'm recommending is some cell phones, and we'll get into that whilst I go along with the presentation. But like I said, you guys only go to sea with fuel, engine, fishing line, and fish pot. A search and rescue transponder. It works similar to the EPIRB. What this does is it comes up on the radar as 12 dotted red lines. As I said, this really does not affect canoes. Our main aim here today is canoe, but I'm willing to educate you guys on some of the equipment that are out there. I'll allow Lieutenant Williams to just speak briefly on passage planning whilst I jump in and out. All right?
All right, so good afternoon, everyone. I am Lieutenant Williams, and I will educate you about your passage plan. So whenever you're deploying to sea, ensure someone knows your movement. Even by just saying, you know, me I go to Maran Key, go take my fish pot, me expect to go like by 1 p.m. and come back by, say, 1500. If we realize that after 1500 hours, we don't hear from you, can't see you, or anything like that, then we can send out a search for you guys. For your safe speed, ensure you travel at a speed where you can stop at an effective time to prevent collision. So it doesn't matter if you see rain falling or anything, because I know some of you guys, if once you see rain falling, you'll be like, me a shot going, you know. Me no want wet up. But you can't do that, right? So your safe speed depends on the visibility and the traffic density. So if there's a large amount of vessel in the area, that means you can't speed. Because if you can't stop, then you know that's a risk of collision, right? So the use of your handheld GPS. So I know many of you fisher folks would like to say you have years of service or years of this at sea. Well, it can't work. Because suppose I am not au fait with the area, how am I going to find you? Your GPS also allows us to get your GPS position and to plot it on our chart so we can find you easily. Also, it has planned routes that are safe and can help you track where you are exactly.
To add to passage planning, ladies and gentlemen, it's not nice when you guys leave here with life in your body and we come and give your family your lifeless body. Why I said that is, I've always said to fisher folks, here is the JDF Coast Guard number. If you're going by yourself, call us. Tell us where you're going, what time you're going, what time you expect to come back. Call us when you reach back. It makes search and rescue easier for us, right? Our maritime domain or area of responsibility is 47 times the size of Jamaica. we have 6 ships. To move from one end of the island to the next is about 10 hours. Literally, you can drown within 5 minutes. Cool? Life jacket, please. I say, if I see one man I see without him life jacket, I'll ensure my crew send you guys back in. Cool? You can't say you guys weren't warned. I mean the crew in Bowden and also in Portland. So it's in you guys' domain. So back to passage planning. I won't deviate much from it, but please call us when you're leaving and when you're coming back. Call is never too much for us. All right? Please.
So we're kind enough to go online and search for a GPS that you guys can use. It costs $300 US. You can get it online. I implore you guys to get one. I know it's a bit expensive, but I guess you can save towards it, right? It's not safe to deploy at sea without a GPS.
So the number for the JDF Coast Guard Duty Officer, 1st District, as you know, the Jamaica Coast Guard itself has 2 Coast Guard, the 1st and 2nd District. I'm representing the 1st District JDF Coast Guard. The number is 322-6602. In the future, what I intend to do is to create a WhatsApp group, Portland Fishers, St. Thomas Fishers. Not faster than that, you know. 322-6602. So the intent is to create a WhatsApp group. They can text and say, Miss Ivy, and I'm going here, and I'm coming back here. Because the constant calling might be a bit, I will not say annoying, but multiple calls coming in at the same time might be a bit confusing. So if you guys can update information into that WhatsApp group so that we can track where you guys are, it will be good. Fishing legally, that is.
So this is the global maritime distress safety system. It's a handheld radio, and once you turn it on, it automatically goes to channel 16, which is a distress signal. So once you turn it on, we, the Coast Guard, will be able to pick you up. So all vessels monitor the channel 16. So once you're in trouble, once you go on channel 16 and radio to us, everyone in the area will know. It is also floatable, so if in any case you drop overboard, you will see it float up back in the water. And it lasts for 8 hours. All right, so for your boat arrangement, please make your boat neat inside, please. Ensure that you always deploy with your proper documents. Always have your license, because you know, once you don't have your license, we're going to take you in. And we won't be lenient on you guys. So ensure it is placed in a container where it is dry. As old people always say, put your papers in a plastic bag. So when you can do that.
Ensure your documents are laminated. Means it go in a plastic, heat go on it, and it cannot get wet. It's waterproof. I've been doing this for a while now, and every minute me hear, oh, my documents I get wet, so I left it in my yard. Yeah, I'll go back in your yard, feed. All right? So ensure it's laminated.
For all the items on board, make sure they are properly stowed away. So to prevent injuries, say for example you have a boat hook. You don't want to be tripping over your boat hook and causing any other injuries, right? So ensure that you maintain a neat boat, please. I know that some of you always say that one man stand alone and all of that. Please do not go to sea by yourself. I implore you. Always have company, especially if you're going to far distances. Right? So at least 3 people, at least, or 2, make sure that you have someone with you. So in case of emergency, suppose something is wrong with you. Suppose you have an underlying condition that you don't know about. So for the weather forecast, I know that many of you may not watch the weather, but you can go and weather forecast or weather meteorology before you deploy to sea. So if, for example, the wave height is 2 to 3 meters high, for a person that has a canoe, that's not safe. Once you see 2 to 3 meters, I implore you, do not deploy to sea, because the canoe cannot manage a 2 to 3 meter wave height. Because even our big vessels, the OPVs, we can barely even stand steady in that waves. So I implore you, do not deploy once you see 2 to 3 meter waves. For the wind speed, if you see the wind speed is 15 to 20 knots, that's not safe. So if you have, say, an engine failure, then you guys will continue to drift and drift and drift. Once you see 15 to 20, do not deploy. Or you can just look for a small craft warning. Once you see a small craft warning, that goes for you guys with canoes. That means do not go to sea. Because if you go to sea and something happens, then we will have to come and find you guys.
For the weather, it is extremely important. So the initiative to have the WhatsApp group is to also have the Met Service send the daily weather report to us, and we promulgate through the WhatsApp group, because the Met Service does update the JDF Coast Guard every single morning and evening of the weather. But me no fisherman, me no. When a tsunami out there, when I say, you know what, can't chance it, you know. When I always want to chance it. I am not stopping you guys from I cannot stop you guys from chancing it. Yeah? But I'm recommending that you don't chance it.
My name is Trevor Bryan, Compliance Officer in the National Fishery Authority. Receipt is not a licensed fisher, folks. Let me make that clear. A receipt is not a fishing license. It doesn't state what you're supposed to be fishing, the method of fishing that you're supposed to be fishing. So anybody can give me. If this man show me a receipt, how I know that this receipt doesn't belong to this man? What I implore you to do, if your license expires, please walk with the receipt, your expired fishing license, and your identification. It will show the JDF, the Marine Police, that it is in process. However, I'm appealing to you, prior to 1 month of expiry, please try to reach out to the extension officer to have it renewed in time so you can have it back in time. But the National Fisheries, however, is working assiduously to ensure that you get back your license and identification in the shortest possible time.
Today we're here to recognize fisher folks, and when I say fisher folks, persons that work in fisheries, which means not only fishermen that go to sea, but also vendors and everyone that is included in the fisheries. As you would know, Food for the Poor is a charity organization. For those that don't know, last 2 weeks we celebrated our 42nd anniversary. So Food for the Poor have been registered in Jamaica and doing charity work in Jamaica for 42 years. And in the 42 years, we have evolved to a point where right now we're looking at development and education of the marginalized persons and the persons in need. What does that mean? So you would hear about Food for the Poor, provide housing, provide food. Here we are fisher folks. Some of you don't even know what really we do in fisheries. But we do so much things. So for fisheries, we have a program that have been established since 2005. In 2009, it was revamped. And since we had 17 fishing villages across the island, where we were visiting those fishing villages on a weekly basis to make sure that they get the right training to improve not only what they do and their livelihood, but also the community itself. Because Food for the Poor provide housing solution, provide food, provide care, you would anticipate that all of that goes into a fishing community. Now we are at 14 fishing village. We are not that active in the fishing villages because we are working through projects. We reach a point where we transition from our fishing village program because our fisher folks in a way graduated. Again, we're not babysitting anyone. We are making sure that those fisher folks, right, have been mentored and guided towards improving their livelihood through sustainable fishing. One thing with Food for the Poor program, we support sustainable fisheries, which mean mainly handline. So we understand that some persons would rely on nets and pots depending on what they do. But we know also that Jamaica have been severely affected with overfishing, pollution, and all of that. And we know that our fish population is depleting. Hence, we look at sustainability. We want to ensure that basically there's something in there that we give back to the sea. Today, we are honoring fishermen by giving them a token regarding their safety at sea. So in the package, you receive a life jacket. Where is the fisherman? Come. I want you to show everyone how to put on a life jacket. I hope you know how to put on a life jacket, or else I'm going to take it out from you. A life jacket is a life-saving device, right? But the life jacket can make you drown too, if you don't know how to use it. And believe me or not, a lot of fishermen do not know how to use it. And if you don't know, most fisher folks that have 40, 50, 60 years of experience, even those that go far to Pedro Key, Moranki, even some divers, right? Compressor divers and tank divers that dive. Did you know that they don't know how to swim on their own? They do not know how to swim. So one of the most important parts of fishing is what? Your safety. Because we want to make sure you go at sea and come back to your yard, to your family. So this is a life jacket, what we call type 2 life jacket. Life vest, sorry, not a jacket. The jacket would be something that you wear with a clamp on. It have a strap on it, and you will see here, turn around just so I can see, yeah. It have a buckle. So you strap it like this. That's it? You finish? All right. He's not finished yet, because when he does that, he need to tighten it. Pull. All you do, no, leave that. Just pull. Pull on it. Pull on it. All right? Your life jacket need to be tight. Why? When you're at sea, remember, you're not wearing it to just go in the boat and for style, right? And you will hear Coast Guard, they ask you to have your life jacket at all time. It's important because accidents do happen on the boat. You could slip and drop overboard. While dropping overboard, you could have knocked your head on the side of the board. Right? If you are unconscious, what is going to happen to you? If you're out there, you're going to go. If you don't sink, you might float for a little bit and drift off of the boat. Right? And we know fishermen love to go on their own, which is the number one thing you should not be doing. So having a life jacket on you at all times is very important. Now we can argue, oh, when I pull my fish pot and my net, I can't. I understand. But imagine something happened to you. When you back up a big sea and coming back, put on your life jacket. We tend to bury our life jacket in at the bottom of the boat, and when something is happening, we can't even find it. Right? Under the tarpaulin, under the sponge, under the this, under that, it has to be accessible. So for you to have good use of a life jacket, you make sure it is accessible. It is strapped on you. It doesn't matter if you are 500 pounds or 20 pounds. This will save your life and float you. If you don't move and put your hands like this and lean your head back, and this, as opposed to the jacket, have a headrest. This is for survival. And we do those exercises in the water to show fishermen, because it's important they know. If anything happened to you, then you know exactly what to do. Outside of the life jacket, thank you very much. Outside of the life, and again, oh, one more thing. You see that strap? I see a lot of people put it in here, tie it or something or anything. That strap should be like this. This is not something for you to say, oh, you're going to tangle. No. This is your safety device. In case that pull, for whatever reason, that pull a little bit and slack in the water and start, what happened? It can just come off of your head, right? And it can drown you, actually. So you will hold it with this hand and pull that way and tighten it right away. In case you can't reach here to press this, sometimes you can hold this and just pull this. See? It releases. And then it's easier to find this and actually pull it. Never ever tie the slack out of this. Right? Thank you. So this is the small lesson, the little tip of the day. Otherwise, you will receive a crate. This crate is very important because you can use it to put your lines. You can even put your fish in there in a way that for fisher folk, you can put it in the water and take it back to wash it. It has holes at the bottom, so it's not waterproof. So if water go in, water will go in there, right? But this is for your fishing equipment. In this, you will see a flashlight with 2 batteries. You will see a pair of gloves, mostly for lobster fishermen and those that handle nets and what have you, and ropes. you will see a glove. Mosquito repellent, very important, although we don't talk about it. And most importantly, we put a hygiene kit in there. Why? Because this is hurricane season now, as you know. Since June 1, hurricane season have been open. And you know Jamaica is prone to hurricanes, especially this side of the island in Portland, right? So it's important to have a hygiene kit. That hygiene kit consists of toothpaste, toothbrush, everything. God forbid anything happen to your home, to your house, and everything get washed away. At least you have your first aid stuff in there. Plus, there's some shampoo, there's some lotion, personal care, and a blanket. Also, you would be receiving a bucket and a pair of water boots. All right? This is a small token for you, and I wish we could do more. One thing I would like to say here, it is very important that you work with your fisheries inspectors and the compliance officers and all. At this time, there's a lot of interest into the fisheries sector. And we have recognized that the fisheries sector requires help, education, and development. And the stakeholders here are doing just so. Of course, we are led by the National Fisheries Authority, which governs basically the fisheries, and we are all partnering together to ensure that we are formalized. And when we come to these kind of forum regarding what it is, you don't have no excuse not to have your fishing license at all time or ID. From now on, take it as a standard operating procedure. Anytime you go, it's like you're going into your car to drive or your boat. If you come to a fisheries event, you are required to carry that. In case there are benefits, we want to make sure it's the fisherman receiving it, because we've heard over the past, oh, we come, we distribute, and I know fisherman get nothing, right? So when we come to establish a process for fishermen, because we are here to deal with fishermen, then let us make sure that we come with it. Make sure that you fish sustainably. Make sure that you look after your health first, because without your health, you can't go to sea. You take precautions, you fix your boat, don't take any chances out there. This is the time for hurricane season. Listen to the weather. I know fishermen, they smell weather, they see weather before it comes. Them no need to listen to no radio. And you know now we have platform where all the information comes straight to you, don't it? So we don't have no excuse to say we don't have access. Even if we don't have access, we know how to get it, don't it? Make sure that we are always aware. I know everyone is suffering now, and I feel it for you. It's been 3-4 weeks where we're having really bad weather, and it's not stopping. No one can go offshore. Persons are stranded at Pedro and some keys. They can't come back due to a lot of things are happening, and we feel it for you. And I want to recognize that, and I want everyone to recognize that at a certain time, fisher folk goes through struggle. And this is the time that we want to ask all stakeholders that work in, the JDF, the police, the NFA, NEPA, everyone that, Yama, everyone that works with fisher folks, to have an interest in supporting those fisher folks. We're not here to point fingers at fisher folks, we're here to work together. But we need to be very respectful of the laws, the regulations, the policies, and we are evolving. And without you as part of the picture, we cannot evolve. On that note, and I want to wish everyone all the best, I think there will be a distribution that will be starting with some items that are left around the parking area. I will leave the NFA to basically guide everyone. Here we are doing just a symbolic handing over just to show you what we are doing, right? And then I hope that you go home safe. And again, think about what you are doing. Be intentional about your fishing. It is no longer about waking up 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, go in at the boat and just sail, go see. No, be intentional. Start talk to your family. Tell them where you're going, what you're doing, how long you're staying, in case the weather bad. That's very important for your safety. I have been out there looking for a lot of you. In plane, in boat, swimming, diving, everything. And certain thing I saw, I don't want to see again. Why? Because of simple misinformation. And you always have that fisherman on the beach that know exactly what is going on, but that information is not related to the authority. When the authority get a call, them not understand what is said to them. It is very important that fisher folks, when you are reporting someone, go to the base yourself. If you are a fisherman, you know exactly what's happening. Offer your help to guide us, authorities. We have the devices, we know where to go with this, but we don't know the fishing ground, we don't know the fishing habits. Without you, we wouldn't be able to find. If I am able to understand what this fisherman do, where him go this, I can go look for him. But I need to get the accurate information. I can tell you, I went west when the man was in east because I was told he was in the west. I have to drive to the west coast to go look for somebody that was on the north coast, on the east coast. Does that make sense? And that is validated information. So we have to be careful. This is your safety. So my emphasis for this year, your safety. And again, I want to speak. Do I have 2 more minutes? No. Beware of the sharks. I've been hearing a lot about sharks. Sorry, 1 minute. I've heard about accident with sharks. For those that don't know, I'm a diver. I have 40 years of diving, spearfishing, free diving. So I know what you guys are going through. But we have to understand that sharks are not something we are allowed to catch. But I will say this, if you are in encounter with a shark and the shark is threatening you, you have to defend yourself. I understand that. But we cannot take actions by go out there, bait water and start catch shark and kill them. I will lock you up. I don't know about everybody else, but I will find you and lock you up. Sharks are not part of what we are supposed to be fishing. That's the manna yard in the sea. Not we, whether we like it or not. Him belong to the sea, we go catch fish over there. Without the shark as the apex predator, if we kill them, then we won't get the fish that we get and the quality of fish that we get. And I don't want to talk too much, we don't have no much time, but big up on yourself. I'm really proud of the Jamaica fisheries and the Jamaica fisherman, right? Hold your head high. You are well respected, and it is time now for us to improve what we do and be sustainable so the generations to come can do exactly what we do, and we can see some fish come back. Because we have a say to say, oh, fish can't done. Fish are done, and you know. Starting with the grouper, right? Thank you.
I just want to thank the authorities for inviting us to be part of this noble event. It was quite noteworthy that, oh, here's my colleague, Ms. Claudette McDonald. Give her a hand. Yes. That after COVID, this very, very underserved market, fisher folks, we took notice. And so we launched our AgriCare and Fisher Folks plan. And it has been well received over the years. So it was launched in 2021, and the whole idea is that this very underserved market could be satisfied with life insurance and health insurance. Now, prior to COVID, to get life insurance and especially life insurance and health insurance, you had to be part of a group, right? You had to be part of a company. But with the launch of this plan, you're able to get health insurance and life insurance on an individual level, okay? Health insurance and life insurance at an individual level. And there are many payment gateways like Paymaster and Sagicor offices where you can go and pay for it. So in other words, we give you the opportunity. Farmers, fisher folks now have the opportunity to own their own health insurance. You don't have to depend on a company, but you can get it. Now, over the years, myself, Ms. McDonald, and few other agents have been going around. What we want to do now is to step it up. We want to step up the marketing, because there are still a lot of fisher folks who don't know, who are not aware that this plan is on the market. And so what we'll do over the next few weeks is that we'll be making arrangement with the various groups. So So we'd want invites to the various group meetings that you have, probably once a month or so on. You know what I'm talking about? When you meet in your groups, that we can come and tell you more about this plan and tell you how you can be a participant of this plan. And I'm sure that yourself, your family would be great beneficiaries of this plan. Because what the health insurance essentially does, it reduces the out-of-pocket expenses. So instead of paying 100% for doctor's visit, for prescription drugs, for dental and optical and so on, it cuts it by 80% in most cases. All right? When the doctor say, look, I have to cut you in two, right, to do this surgery, you don't have to be sending around the hat. You have a health card that can help you. When one of you pass, when you die, we don't have to worry. Your family do not have to worry about how we're going to do the burial and so on. You have made provision for that. And to top it off, it doesn't cost a lot of money. As low as $8,000 for the year for $1 million worth of life insurance. Isn't that good, people? $8,000. That's about what? 2 pounds of fish? Or something like that? Right? Sell 2-3 pounds of fish and you can buy a life insurance. Pay for it for the year. Right? And then there's a health card that you need. As much as, and you know that it doesn't matter the amount of boats you have, engine, house, and whatever. If you don't have your health, it don't have no use to you. Not true? It don't mean nothing at all. It doesn't matter what you acquire. So having a health card is really an investment. That's the only time you get to make an investment in your health. Yeah, man. Our booth is right there. So when I'm done, you can come and get our cards and get more information. So we can find you. Find your groups so you can be part of this thing. All right? So thank you very much for having us. Thank you for inviting us. Ministry, thank you for inviting us. And it's a pleasure. And I'm looking forward to coming to your various association meetings and so on, so you can be enlightened more about it and you can get to participate. Thank you very much. Have a good rest of the day.
Good afternoon, everyone. All protocols observed. I want to say thank you for the organizers for inviting us to be here today. It's a pleasure. I know they say you save the best for last. So I promise I won't keep you very long, all right? So I'm just going to take you through the health education steps based on how to handle fish. All right, first thing, you must have valid food handlers permits as fisher folks. All right? And further down in the presentation, I'll explain how to apply for a permit, all right? It is required by law that all persons handling meat, fish, poultry must have a valid food handler's permit. Failure to do so, you can be fined up to $1 million or spend some time in jail, and likewise pay the fee as well. So either fine and confine. So it depends what the judge decides. So it only costs $500, however you can be charged up to $1 million. Foodborne illness is an illness that you get from eating contaminated food, including fish. For the past couple of years, contaminated fish, seafood, are one of the leading causes of foodborne illness outbreaks. Types of foodborne illnesses relating to fish, ciguataria, fish poisoning. Anybody know about ciguataria, fish poisoning? Yes? Good. It's possible when someone eats a reef fish or fish from tropical area that has ingested some sort of harmful toxins. These toxins remain in the fish even after the fish has been frozen or cooked. This is a poison made in small amounts by certain algae or algae-like organisms called dinoflagellates. Small fish that eat these algae. Once the larger fish consumes these smaller fish that eat this algae, that's how the toxin, the poison is released. So when you eat those fish, you become ill. All right, for example, the barracuda poisoning. That's one of the causes. Anybody ever eat barra and get poisoned? And how you feel? All right. So ciguatera toxin is heat stable, means heat does not destroy it, right? So it doesn't matter how long you cook it for, the poison still remains in it. So you have to be careful. Likewise, there is scumboid poisoning. This is as a result of fish that become spoiled and the toxins develop in their small amounts. So after the fish dies, if you don't store it properly, then these organisms, these toxins will result. So you have to ensure that the fish is stored properly immediately after catch. All right? Here are some signs and symptoms if you are suffering from any fish poisoning. Some persons said they had barracuda poisoning. So you know what it's like. For example, rash, diarrhea, reddening or flushing of the face, sometimes the neck, arms, the upper part of the body, sweating, vomiting, headaches, sometimes ear loss, sometimes loss of function in some areas. Persons back then know about that, right? Abdominal cramps, nausea, tingling or numbness around the mouth, hand, and feet, muscle aches, burning sensation with cold exposure, Severe cases can involve cardiovascular issues, difficulty breathing, and sometimes you end up even in coma. So you see how dangerous it is. These are just a few signs and symptoms. They are numerous, all right? So shortly after these symptoms develop, you will start to have strange sensation, which may include feeling that your teeth are loose and about to fall out. You experience that? Right? Confusing hot and cold temperatures. For instance, you feel that an ice cube is burning you as against you have a match that is lit, so it feels cold. So you have something hot and it feels cold. Right, loss of taste, no appetite, low heart rate. There's also a metallic taste in the mouth. So the signs and symptoms, numerous, all right? We mentioned those. Fish can become contaminated by microorganisms, for example, bacteria, viruses, parasites, fungus. Also by chemicals that you use, physical objects, and as I mentioned earlier, ciguatera toxin. There are some contributing factors that will allow the food to become contaminated, like poor personal hygiene practices, improper handling of raw fish, improper storage of fish, cross-contamination, untreated water, improper cleaning and sanitization of equipment. Under personal hygiene, as we mentioned, poor personal hygiene, daily bath is necessary before handling. Some person might think that, oh, fish is a kind of, what you call it now, messy operation, but you must bathe before going to work, doing a catch, handling your fish and selling. You must have a daily bath, right? Oral hygiene is very important. Clean clothes is necessary. And likewise, the wearing of protective gear like aprons, hair cover, and all of that. No shorts or sleeveless while handling your fish. No jewelry. Hand washing must be done as often as is necessary. No form of jewelry because it will fall off. Sometimes if you're searching for your chain, you can't find it. The earring, the eyelash, the nose ring, wherever they are. So once you're handling any sort of food, fish, no exception, no jewelry. All right? So one of the most important ways to stop the spread of germ is also one of the simplest. Use the right procedure for hand washing frequently. Proper hand washing is something that can be learned in less than a minute, yet it can be the simplest way to ensure food safety and stopping the spread of most communicable diseases. Hand washing techniques. When washing hands, always wash your hands after using the restroom. We can't overemphasize that, right? before touching food, whether you are preparing or eating. So after eating, you must wash your hands, right? After coughing, sneezing, caring for someone who is sick, and the list goes on. These are just an example of the correct hand washing procedure. You must follow these steps in order to wash your hands correctly. First, you soap and rinse your hands, then you soap and rinse the top. For example, if you're utilizing a pipe that has a top, you must wash the top. Anybody knows why? Because remember, your hands is dirty, so when you go to the top and turn it on, you transfer the germs on it, so therefore, you must wash the top. So first, you soap and rinse your hands, soap and rinse the top, soap your hands again, ladder. And when we say ladder, how far we ladder up to? Right, correct. So you ladder all the way up to your elbow, right? Brush and clean the nails, rinse. After rinsing, you examine. Don't you look at them? If at any time you rinse and you examine and you realize that, oh, something, you miss a spot or something left on your hand, then you have to go back through the steps. If after examining and all looks clean and everything is okay, then you would dry it. Dry it using a disposable paper towel, and then you dispose of it in a step-on bin, right? All right. So this is what a typical hand wash station looks like, where you have your hand drying facility, so that's the paper towel dispenser. You have your liquid soap in the dispenser. You have a sink that is connected to the water source, and you have a step-on bin that is lined. The eyes must be shiny and bright. The gill must be red, pink, bright red. No smell, no fishy smell, right? The color of the fish must be bright, so shiny, bright, and metallic with tightly adhered scale. So the scale must be firm, right? It must have a fresh odor, fresh seafood odor, right? So this is just an example. I'm wrapping up. And we mentioned what fresh fish looks like. All right, fish must be stored on ice at 32 degrees Fahrenheit until sold, right? So it's either 32 Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. Fish must be protected from flies and other insects. Fish must be handled on clean, smooth, impervious surfaces. Cutting boards must be smooth as well as to prevent cross-contamination. All right? Some persons use ice as a method of preservation. Ensure that you have adequate ice when you're going out to sea, enough to keep you until you get back, right? All right, storage practices. Some persons ride and sell the fish, but it's not in a cooler or, container to maintain temperature. Please ensure that you do. So you must clean and sanitize your area and the utensils that you use, all right? And there's a saying, clean as you go. So you don't wait until you finish for the day, then you clean. You clean as you go, all right? So we're winding down. Another area that I want to touch on quickly. All right, in order for you to apply for a food handler's permit, you must first fill out an application. You can get this application at any health center or health department in all the regions, all right? It lasts for 1 year, so you need to renew it. All right, it's cost $500. You need 2 passport-size photographs. Yeah, renewal and first time is the same amount of money. And you need to walk with your ID, be it a passport or the government ID or a driver's license. All right? And it costs $500. When you do so, some places you get an appointment, some they have set days. So you will sit in a health education session and then you do a test at the end, successful, the permit is granted. Thank you.
I want you to just show some appreciation to the National Fisheries Authority that have put on today's event. Clap them for me now, all the members of staff, Karen and the team. Yes, also we want to extend our appreciation to the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining.
The day was filled with excitement and activities thanks to the generous support of sponsors such as Rainforest Caribbean, Mercury Marine Supplies, Sagicor, and B&D Trawling. Guests enjoyed giveaways, prizes, and surprises. International Fisherman's Day in Portland is not just an acknowledgement of hard work. It's a vibrant celebration that offers a unique glimpse into Jamaica's rich maritime culture and the importance of its fishing heritage. We invite you to experience the warmth and beauty of Portland and to discover the many facets of Jamaica that make it an unforgettable destination.